Chapter 17, Social Selling. Some interesting statistics here. 90% of top decision makers say they never respond to a cold call. Cold call is like a sales call or they didn't know you were coming. Consumers are already 57% of the way through the purchase process before they engage a sales professional. 75% of business to business, that's B2B buyers, and 84% of executives are using contacts from social media as part of their purchase process. So what does this mean? It means you better use social media to sell. You got to get in the process of the purchasing decision in an everyday way. And how can you do that? A lot of people are on social media. Social selling is when a salesperson uses social media to interact with and sell products to potential customers. Social selling leverages the social network of a salesperson to build relationships, find new prospects, and eliminating the need for a cold call that, 90% of us aren't interested in hearing. Social selling is not about bombarding potential customers with messages, tweets, or whatever, spam on social media. It requires active listening and engaging and looking for the right moment to join a conversation or approach a potential customer with a solution to a problem he or she may be having, especially a problem they don't even know they have and need a solution to. Social media can get you in the door to make a sale. What are the buyer's benefits for social selling? Salespeople introduced through social networks yield more favorable impressions. People are already looking to be entertained and interact on social media. A social audit conducted of the salesperson before deciding whether to work with him or her. So you can basically Facebook stalk them and see if you want to partner up with them and buy something from them. You can see what their brand is about because there's a social media posting history. Now that's equal parts, hey, be a good detective, and also, hey, warning, if you're going to try to sell something in your social media or use your social media as a salesperson as part of your business, you better be careful what's on your history. Another benefit of social selling, if I could speak English today, is there's a chance for salespeople to interact in a non-invasive way. It's not a cold call. Salespeople can build trusting, authentic relationships with potential customers. You can bring value to their lives, which then will bring solutions, and solutions people will pay for. So a salesperson also benefits from social selling by establishing their own brand. It eliminates cold calls, where you go in cold with no introduction and try to weasel your way in there. I hate saying that as a former salesperson. It's not really weaseling. It's just trying to figure out a way to make a sale. Well, online mediums and social media have allowed a softer on-ramp, if you will, to the express way that it sells. You can reduce your research time. There's so much information at your fingertips. You can personalize sales pitches. You can build relationships with influential buyers online easier. You can then, leave an impression and get shared. You can expand your reach. You can deepen your customer relationships by interacting with customers much longer than you would, say, in a store. And you can hopefully increase your conversion rates, shorten the sales cycle, and outsell your peers if you use it properly. Now the company, so we had the salesperson individual benefiting here. Now the company benefits of social selling is then attract some top talent. You can have people working all over the world selling on social media for you. You can identify more leads. You can increase revenue, be more productive, and have a qualified sales team, more qualified sales team that is, and increase customer retention with a loyal customer base. Basically build your brand. Increase that brand recognition, competitor, and differentiate yourself from your competitors, and get some return on some investment, which we'll talk more about in the next chapter. Getting started with social media. 77% of sales and marketing technology decision makers are in the process of optimizing a formal social selling program. So people are working on this right now. Establishing yourself as an industry expert and thought leader on social media means that you're far more likely to be in the right place at the right time when the sales opportunity arises. So build your brand. Always be building, baby. So how do you get started? Again, build your brand, optimize the social media profiles, make sure they're clean, make sure they're good. Get endorsements and recommendations, ask for referrals. Join groups and start networking online. You can listen to customer needs and monitor their posts like Twitter. Answer customer inquiries. You've never been more available to your customers. That's the good news. Also, the bad news is you've never been more available to your customers. If they want to complain about it, they got a forum for it now. Join public conversations, Twitter chats, etc. Share industry-related content to establish yourself as a thought leader. Again, build that brand as an expert. And keep ahead of what customers are saying. and find those who need sales help. Are they struggling to get to your website? Are they struggling with one particular part of the process? Are they struggling to understand what it is you're trying to sell? You have opportunities to get feedback there, basically for free. Create thought-provoking posts that directly addresses your customer's needs. Establish a problem, provide a solution, make it easy for them to get it, make the sale. So how do we implement social selling within an organization? Well, few companies are taking a holistic approach to implement social selling across their organizations due to many challenges they face. There's a lot of people who don't think they're qualified for it. Confidence of a sales team member is lacking. Limited understanding of social selling, say for technology products. However, I know what Facebook is. I've heard of Instagram. I don't get Twitter, but what is TikTok? All right, that's limited understanding, okay? Lack of alignment between sales and marketing teams. Marketing is generally in-house. Sales is typically front of the house and outside. Sometimes they don't see eye to eye. Lack of clear business case or return on investment. People don't understand what they can get from, say, Facebook. Insufficient social seller training programs. That's definitely a problem in today's environment. It's so new. You have a lot of people who are entrenched in careers that predate social selling, and they don't understand it. They don't get it. And when people don't understand something, don't get it, they don't want to do it. But that doesn't mean you need to stick with the 90% refusal rate on cold calls. Social selling is here to stay, and your generation is going to be a big part of it. Now, you can gain executive buy-in by showing progress on social media. You can help them establish a social media training program. What you really need to do is establish goals and methods to get there, the tools to get there. You need to execute, you need to empower and incentivize, and doggone it, you need to measure what your success was. In the next chapter, in chapter 18, we're going to talk about return on investment and look a little more about the metrics of what it takes to be successful at social selling. So, again, in today's sales professionals face many challenges. Buyers prefer to partake in their online journeys, turning to online research and recommendations from friends on social media before coming in contact with a sales professional. Some people see that as a problem and say, oh, well, throw my hands up. That's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to sell socially. The key to sales success is having a formal, comprehensive social selling program in place. And I hope you're enjoying this week's reading, learning a little more about that. Come back and we'll talk in chapter 18, which is our last chapter in this course, about return on investment and metrics and how you measure. Take care.